If you ever want that, what if this energy work and this manifestation is just bullshit? What if it's just placebo? What if it's not real? And therefore, what if I'm fraud? And especially those of you that perhaps really use it for your business and life and maybe even teach it or use it in your work. What if I'm fraud? What if that makes me fraud? And what if I'll never make it? What if I'm simply not good enough? If energy is not the answer, what if simply I'm not going to... Oh my goodness. Let's talk about it because it's a very, very important topic. My powerful one. I caught a comment from one of you, Michelle, and I want to read it. I'm creating literally entire video about this to answer this because when I read this comment, it almost broke my heart because I could recognize myself in that and I know exactly what you're talking about. So let's read it and let's talk about it because it's a very, very important topic. The comment says, the thing that always gets me about coaches is none of them ever address the possibility that maybe, just maybe, it's not about energy at all. Maybe some of us just simply aren't good at what we do. Maybe we just simply don't have the personality that makes it. And therefore, we will never be successful, regardless of how much we work on our energy. And oh my goodness, have you ever wondered the same? I certainly have. If you ever want that, what if this energy work and this manifestation is just bullshit? What if it's just placebo? What if it's not real? And therefore, what if I'm fraud? And especially those of you that perhaps really use it for your business and life and maybe even teach it or use it in your work. What if I'm fraud? What if that makes me fraud? And what if I'll never make it? What if I'm simply not good enough? If energy is not the answer, what if simply I'm not going to... Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, this comment brought me down my timeline, down the memory lane when I was crying my eyes out, really feeling this way. I remember it like today, especially one scene when I was driving my car, going from one networking event, which was probably a millionth and one networking event I went to, where I was talking about how amazing coach I am, how I can help everyone and putting this successful persona. And then when I left the networking event, I would cry my eyes out because that success was facade. It was a mask, but deep inside I was struggling. I was recovering from the loss of my previous coaching business and it was freaking hard. No matter how much I marketed, no matter how much I was trying to sell, no matter how much I tried to shout and speak for free, how amazing, how this is amazing. I was driving that day from yet another networking event like that, and these exact thoughts were coming through my mind. What if this is all made up? What if energy is not real? What if manifestation is not real? And what if, at this point, surely I would have succeeded by this time with my effort, with my commitment. What if I'm not meant to succeed? What if it's just this dream is just made up in my mind? What if it's something seriously wrong with me? There must be something seriously wrong with me or something different, that I simply don't have what it takes to succeed as powerful entrepreneur. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, my dear Michelle, and my every woman and man and every spiritual entrepreneur who is in that place where you're thinking, can I actually freaking make it to the next level? Will I? And I'm here to tell you, yes, you will. You absolutely will. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You don't have the personality that just doesn't gel. There is no such personality that is not suitable to succeed. Have a look at YouTube. You will have all shades of personalities killing it, so to speak, in YouTube space. There's just one example. There is not one type of personality that is suitable for success, and because you have different tonality, different way of speaking, different whatever, that you're not meant to succeed. Bullshit. There is nothing wrong with you. Absolutely nothing wrong with you. You just didn't build enough momentum. Energetic momentum, strategic momentum. There is just more momentum to be built, that's all. And I know it from experience because I know from that moment when I was crying in my car, tears flowing down, and I was wondering, really, maybe I'm not meant to succeed, really, maybe I'm different. You know the message I got? And again, I could say, it's made up. But the message I got from somewhere is, Lenka, don't you dare to give up on yourself. Don't you dare. You don't need to do huge things. Cry if you need to cry. And you don't need to take like a huge steps forward. All you'll do is put one foot in front of another, one little step forward. Because you wouldn't be seeded this desire. You wouldn't be seeded this in your mind if you were not meant to live it. It's just not how it works. That's the message I felt from God at the time. Like, I wouldn't give you this desire if you were not meant to live it. And I think if God or Source or Universe were talk to you today, it would tell you the same thing. And if it's made up, well, who cares? Because ultimately it did work for me. Ultimately, I didn't give up. I had a good cry. And it wasn't the first or last time back then when I had a good cry, and I didn't give up. And I did take that next step, whatever the next step was. I did go to the next networking event. I did then have got plenty of aha moments, which I'll talk about in my book, Energetic Selling and Marketing, that changed everything for me. And things did change. And when things started to change, they were starting to change really freaking rapidly. And you can look forward to that too. Because inevitably, if you just don't give up on yourself, inevitably you will hit the rapid growth stage of your business, of your dream. Of course, there are things you can do to make it faster, so to speak. You can work your energy, you can work business, you can work with a coach. I invite you, of course, as always, to go for full-in transformation and step into Business Energetics Academy. But either way, the only requirement here is not to give up on yourself. Not to think that you don't have what it takes to succeed. You have all it takes to succeed. If you're still in the game, if you're watching this video, you have all it takes to succeed. Okay? Now, the second question, energy. Is it all BS? What if it's all made up? Again, I know what you're talking about. Probably it's not only you and I that ask ourselves that question. Please let me know in the comments who else have asked yourself this question. What is if this manifestation, what if this energy, what if all of this is actually made up? Have you asked this question before? Here's the real answer. Okay? Universe can work and always works both ways. If you acknowledge that it's made up, the universe will behave completely mechanically for you. What I mean by that is, in physics, up till early 1900s, all we had was mechanical physics, cause and effect, Newtonian physics. And entire world agreed that that's how physics works. That when I take some action, I'll pick up the glass. The effect is the glass is over here. Cause and effect, mechanical universe. And the truth is, it's truth, as in we observe that that's how the universe works. However, in early 1900s, some of the brightest minds on this earth started to come out with experiment after experiment and proof after proof that actually, hold on, that's not the full picture. When we look a little deeper, when we look on subatomic level, we realize and we can see that actually it's not as straightforward as cause and effect and mechanical universe. That on subatomic level, as you look deeper, when you look at energetic level, that all there is energy. That there is actually no matter. That matter is illusion. Solidity is illusion. That all there is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And this energy has a different set of rules than what mechanical physics have. For instance, the energy particles can coexist at multiple places all at once. For instance, the energy is so interconnected that when you make change in one energy particle over here, it affects everything else. And energy, for instance, responds to how we observe it. When you put a measuring device and it looks at how energy behaves, it changes the pattern, and so forth and so forth. Meaning, there is a whole entire universe where the world, the universe, doesn't respond to cause and effect. It's not mechanical, it's quantum. Now, the physicists of 1900s came up with this quantum theory, quantum physics, and it created a revolution. Up till this day, the quantum physics is not fully understood, and probably it won't be ever fully understood, but it's being studied. But we're using it so powerfully in the world. This is why you have your scanners. This is why you have your quantum computers. This is why you have so many inventions that work, that use the principles of quantum physics. That would not be possible with mechanical physics only. But does it mean that quantum physics is now the answer and then mechanical physics cannot be used? No, it's just somewhat more outdated model, still useful. And the point is, the universe you lived in will respond to you in exactly the way you look at it. If you look at the universe you lived in as a mechanical universe, it will respond to you that way. Which means if you want to grow a business, you better get very mechanical and very hardworking and very, go and learn all the strategies and try until you succeed. And I want to say lovingly, good luck with it. I tried. It's freaking tiring. And I think many of us find that there must be a better way. Or go quantum way. Business energetics way, where yes, strategy is not going away, but it has got a special place in the equation, where energy leads, where feminine energy leads, and where you work on you, your identity, your power. When you break all the rules that don't suit you and create your own. When you F the rules and collapse the timeline, where you don't go linearly, where you create exponential growth because you know that the energy, everything is energy, and your energy is the most powerful currency in your universe and in the world. So choice is yours. Choice is ours. Whenever in past I went into this thinking, what if it's all made up? What if the manifestation, what if the energy is all made up? What if it's bullshit? I went through the notion, okay, what if? What if it really is BS? What if I've been lying to myself? And you know what I found? Even if it was BS, even if it really didn't exist, even if it was placebo, I wouldn't change it for the world. Because it's working with energy that made me so much more powerful woman than mechanical way of going around the business ever would. I became way more resilient, way more confident, believing in my vision. I expanded my vision and even thinking about it logically. If you really expand your vision and aim for the stars, so to speak, rather than for your 10% growth and setting my goal based on what I achieved yesterday, how will you get further? By being delusional, by believing in impossible, by believing in magic. Hello? So I wouldn't change it. And I think every super successful entrepreneur and change maker and visionary will tell you that, you know what, if it was even all made up, I still wouldn't change it for the world. Because it's that believing in that BS and made up thing that made me who I am today, that allowed me to achieve even the most insane dreams for my life, for my business. And I choose this to be my truth. I choose to live in this kind of universe where energy responds to me rather than I'm a victim of some mechanical universe. So that's, my dear, is my message for you today. And I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever asked yourself that question, what if it's all made up? What if manifestation energy was made up? Share with me. And what are you taking away from today? Are you going to be living in mechanical universe going forward or quantum universe? Are you going to be applying the old business paradigm to growing your business or business energetics, a whole new paradigm? Which one? I'm sending so much love your way and I'll see you next time. Energetic selling and marketing is not a set of sales techniques. It's a lifestyle, a chosen state of being. Through my book, I teach powerful women like you to use the immense power of your energy to grow your business. Because when you do that, there are no limits to what kind of impact you can create in the world and in your life.